Hello class, welcome to the video review of pages 154 to 164 and 97 and 99. Um, Essentially, you've got a sample essay here, which um, should be something that you found to be similar to what you've been working on. Um, and we have our reading on how to do the works cited entry. So, the general guidelines on 155, I cannot stress enough. Doing works cited is all about logos. It's fact. You'll notice I did a sample works cited entry for you for some of the different sources. So there's really no reason why you shouldn't get it right. Follow the guidelines on 155. Center the words works cited, capital W, capital C. Double space the entire list. Put it in ABC order and indent every line after the first. It's called hanging indent. Now, when you're citing the story, which is a work in an anthology, on page 158, right in the middle of the page, follow the guidelines. You can see I've highlighted it here, right here in the middle. A work in an anthology or compilation, literally it tells you what to put in what order and how to do it. Follow the guidelines, check out my sample work cited, and I did it for you. So there's really no reason why all of you should not be citing the Chopin citation correctly. I did a sample work cited. If you got a document from a website and on page 161, a professional or personal web page, right in the middle of the page, tells you what information to put and what order. I did a sample one for that for those of you that did the biography document from katechopin.org. And last but certainly not least, if you get your sources from the library database, just copy and paste the citation at the end of the document or follow the guidelines on page 161 for an online scholarly project or database. And again, I did a sample works cited for you. So please make sure you follow these directions. Now, the sample student essay, Good Husbands in Bad Marriages. Essentially what this essay does is analyze character, milieu, right? The political and social setting, what it was like to kind of be in a marriage at the time, social setting. Plot, what happens. The sample student essay's intro states the claim, lets the reader know the elements of fiction after giving background on it, just like your essay should do. Each body paragraph has a clearly stated topic sentence. What's going to be the focus of that paragraph? What element of fiction are you going to focus on? And down the road, when you write about poems and if you write about plays, which elements of poetry, which elements of drama? Again, this book is very helpful in that it gives you all the strategies and tools for writing about literature, while this book gives you all the strategies and tools for applying our critical thinking skills. So notice how the intro paragraph contains background thesis and supporting details, the elements of fiction. The topic sentences of each body paragraph addressed what elements of fiction the paragraph will focus on. You'll notice that there are specific facts, examples, details, and quotes from the sources. Make sure you include a quote in each of your body paragraphs from your fictional source, since that's what you're doing. You're writing about literature. So you should have a quote from the story of an hour in each body paragraph. If you're writing about a poem, you should have a quote from that poem in each body paragraph. And then as far as your outside secondary sources, you need to have at least one quote from each. So make sure that you cite each of those secondary sources at least once, and you cite your primary source, the work of fiction that you're writing about, the short story, the poem, the play, at least once in each body paragraph since you're writing about literature. Last but not least, the sample student essay does a great job not only with all the body paragraphs having topic sentences, details, quotes, and transitional or concluding sentences, but the conclusion also does what a good conclusion will do when you're writing about literature. Repeat the point, review the support, and reflect on the prompt. What do we learn about life, about the human experience, about the theme you're writing about? For your story of an hour essay, you could be focusing on what? Identity, marriage, love, grief, joy, treatment of women by men, oppression, autonomy, self-assertion. You have all those themes. So make sure in the conclusion you kind of bring it back and relate it to the human experience. Because remember, when we read literature, as they said in our week 1, day 2 reading, when we read literature, right, we learn about life. So would you learn about life by analyzing this story? Okay, so make sure you bring some reflection back on the theme in the conclusion. Thanks for your patience. Let me know if you have any questions, and more to come.